Lexi Murdoch is in fact not Nick Drake, but goodness does he scratch the same itch. Thanks Real Steel for the introduction, which is even crazier realizing the song is almost 20 years old, but it works especially well with these wide shots. And it's a beautifully shot, contemplative opening to the movie about robot fights. Again, it's just the opening credits, but that's a 15-second shot of Hugh Jackman just staring. We learn everything we need to know about Charlie. Dude is struggling.
Bill, hey, no, we're good, buddy. I got your money. It's right here in my hand.
Ha! It is, although $30,000 on Bud would be a horrific way to punish yourself.
On the 10th or the diner, we got. Right.
Honestly, the most impressive thing he does in this entire movie. If I had perfected that skill, I'd never worry about phone calls ever again.
How about 250?
You suck!
Knowing thyself.
We agreed that my boxer would fight an 800-pound steer for $3,000. That bull is like 2,000 pounds.
Why don't we make this more interesting? My bout against your bull straight up.
How much?
20 grand when it takes off.
This all seems weird. Charlie is parlaying Ricky's lie about the size of the bull into a bet instead of just more guaranteed money. I guess the takeaway is that he's so addicted to gambling that he can't think straight. Or maybe he's just trying to hustle Ricky, because honestly, if he hadn't been distracted, he was gonna win. Flirting, and same, Charlie. Blondes are also my weakness. I guess some redheads too. Brunettes, even black hair, gray, white, pretty much any hair on any person that shows me attention. Huh. And Charlie would never wear this hat again. Is it because he gets mollywopped so bad? Was he just wearing it to fit in? Part of the hustle? Who could say? But fun fact, you can just barely catch him throwing it off when Ambush loses his leg. But okay, I guess I see why he was so confident, and it was definitely a hustle. And hot dang, this first charge from Ambush? It's weird to not start with robot v robot. Steers have no steel, but this gives us a moment to really see what they're capable of and how freaking awesome they look. And you thought NASCAR was dangerous for the audience. This guy might have some internal bleeding. He does look weirdly less confident without the hat though. Should I start wearing a cowboy hat? Should I start watching Yellowstone? Should I start taking people I don't like to the train station? So obviously much of this is CGI, but they did actually build a lot of these robots, and the best thing I can say is that it's hard to tell which is which. I will admit I'm good with the robot losing to the living thing that actually feels pain. Ha! Former boxer hints.
Do you recall Max Kenton?
He's my son. He's got to be like 9 or
11.
11, okay.
Solidly letting us know that Charlie is more into hands-off parenting. Judge Ernesto Escobedo presiding over the court. Real ones know.
Charlie, do you even remember me?
I'm glad Julia doesn't have any siblings because honestly, I'd probably have a hard time remembering them. Goodness, Charlie is set up as a real pile of garbage.
There you are. He'll be in a foster home.
Pile of garbage.
You're going to tell your wife I'll only sign over custody to her if I get to spend the summer with the kid first.
The speed at which he comes up with this win-win plan is pretty astonishing. I mean, it's lose-lose for Max, but hey, it all works out, I think.
I need a shower. You want to take a shower?
More flirting. Huge Ackerman's workout routine, and like, this is 2 years after X-Men Origins and 2 years before the Wolverine, so this was what Huge looks like in the off-season.
You sold me?
Sounds worse than it is.
It's funny because it does actually sound worse than it is, but also it's still pretty bad. Noisy Boy is the sharpest looking bot in this entire movie, even if I'll admit that I'm partial to the samurai vibes. But he was doomed from the start because Logan has no intention of keeping the Silver Samurai around. Glad to see Hewlett-Packard is still doing well in the future. Is this the future? It's alternate timeline. 2020? Another cooler timeline we missed out for COVID. I know this is like continuity 101, but the top salvo move is on the screen in the list of his moves.
Don't do this again?
Don't.
Whoa!
Get in.
Whoa.
Just get in, will you? Give me the keys first.
No, you can wait till I get in the truck.
Smart kid. The Eminem Show was a crusher of an album, and there isn't much better to walk into a place, especially with the Nate Dogg R.I.P. chorus.
But you can have any undercard you want.
It's Cap! The very reason I'm doing this movie, because Anthony Sam Captain Falcon America Wilson Mackey is in it.
Come on.
Finn, this is Noisy Boy, an original Takmashido bot.
I like that we don't really know who Takmashido is yet, just little hints.
This him out punk is programmed for pain!
Hell yeah, alliteration. It's a badass entrance from a badass... Is he a bad guy? I don't know, I guess he's kind of a bad guy. We all know it's not gonna end well, but I appreciate that they give us a little hope before destroying it. Supposedly, we're getting an officially licensed Mattel movie at some point, but for 2011, this was the best Rock'em Sock'em Robots fun we'd ever seen.
That's illegal!
This is the underworld, kid. There are no rules.
More evidence that Charlie wasn't thinking straight, because if there are no rules, your League robot may not even have commands to block illegal moves, let alone dish any out. Midas obviously does, and if he had voice command, I like to think this move would be Gonad Grenade. I'll probably say this a few more times, but this movie is a 90s movie in the best possible way, and everyone, including the crowd, is in on it. The way they react to the tested TKO, to the way Midas's human uses his body to mimic the moves he wants Midas to do, even though he's just pressing buttons and moving joysticks.
What?
I hate hamburgers.
Kid hates burgers.
Real. Everything you think they'll love, they'll hate.
Do you even think about the stuff you do before you do it? You had no idea how to fight that fight.
Max really clocks Charlie's issues early on. Charlie genuinely has no plan and serious compulsion issues. Love the Soviet propaganda-style poster in the background. You know what they say, bolt cutters are the keys to the world. Is that a rocket in the junkyard? A little hint that we abandoned space for robot fights? Better than what we abandoned it for IRL. Nothing.
The next logical step, get the humans out of there and let the machines kill each other.
It's a fascinating concept that the fan base wanted more violence, so fighting sports moved to machines, because what everyone is cheering really ends up just being property damage. Which, if you watched my Creed videos, you know I'd be okay with the switch. Dope shot of severe child endangerment and neglect. I know that Charlie ultimately comes around anyway, but this hug moment feels so heartfelt because I think Hugh Jackman can't help but be a comforting sweetie. Also hugging. Although, of all the awful things Charlie does, this is the craziest. He genuinely left his child alone in a dangerous junkyard in the pouring rain all night on the edge of a cliff to do hard manual labor and didn't check on him. Just waited at the car. Dude is a terrible person and this movie will not change my mind. Correct. Totally on Max's side with this. Should have gone for a nugget nuke.
He's mine.
Oh, he's yours, yeah. But the parts we're putting in him are mine.
Ha, the looks. Should remind you that you are arguing with an 11-year-old. Great name. Biblical, some might say, for new beginnings. It's these little insert shots that really sell these robots as a presence.
He's a sparring bot, right? Built to take a lot of hits, but never dishing out any real punishment.
So he's Rocky in the beginning of Rocky. Or Homer in that one episode. Does this count as Simpsons did it first?
The places that would let you fight this robot would make you pee your little pants.
Excellent. Get him a fight.
Perfect response. It was during the Max sneaks out at night with the giant robot and runs through the city scene that I was jealous of this kid's childhood and then also realized I'm really glad Jew doesn't have one of these. I mean, the property damage alone. The subtle sound design of the metal creaking and the whirring motors, it's all top notch.
Can you understand me?
Also, his cooling fan is a perfect little detail that grounds him closer to our reality.
Charlie fought Nico Tandy, the top contender.
You were at the Nico Tandy fight?
It goes by quick, but the implication is that despite his understandable disdain for his bio dad, Max actually does know some stuff about him.
Charlie was floating inches off the canvas that night. He's like a ghost. Nico couldn't even see him. Yeah, and you knocked a lot of guys out too,
24 and
Charlie.
19.
24
It's not
and
exactly a
19,
career.
but every...
This setup for the pure joy he shows later kind of works perfectly. Charlie is honest about his boxing career, but it doesn't mean he doesn't love it or miss it.
Hey, look.
Maybe it's just because I'm a dad, but waking your son up to show him something cool seems like the emotionally closed-off father version of I love you.
And what did it take to lure the reclusive genius, former boy wonder, and arguably the most important bot designer in the history of the sport, out of retirement?
It's an A+ exposition question, but totally believable if he's actually reclusive and doesn't often do interviews.
What Zeus sees, he kills.
Straight out of Rocky IV, it's just these two instead of Michael Pataki and Brigitte Nielsen. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Takamashita was created in a lab for 11-year-olds. That sounded weird. I mean that all it takes to get into a young boy's heart is an awesome-looking Japanese genius rebel. That's not any better. You know what I'm saying. And yeah, he's cool, but in a bad guys from the Mighty Ducks kind of way. Which is cool. Everyone loves free swag.
I've got to know you, man. And as much as I like you, dude, you're a bad bet, brother.
Brutal. I mean, based on what we know, it's 100% true, but even Cap should be careful with that kind of honesty for Wolverine. Let Wasp handle it.
I told you I hate hamburgers.
The burrito.
Look at that, he listened, and he's learning.
Bend your knees. Right up. Both hands.
Double uppercut shadowing, and really it's just a cool move. I've always enjoyed the way mainstream movies portray outsiders or punks. The Walmart brand Anarchy symbol tattoo is an especially nice touch. I really like picturing the lone props runner frantically refilling every extra's bottle and cup after every single take because every time anyone with a liquid is on camera, they are spraying it all over the ring.
Let's get it out! Let's get it out! Let's get it out! Let's ping pong it out! Come! Give me a bell! Give me a bell!
And you gotta love when an actor goes all out bananas, maybe even over the top for this film. Also, he's the film's writer, John Gatins. Probably a fun couple days for him. Did you know Limp Bizkit released an album in 2011? Cause I sure didn't. Why try? Fits like a glove here though. And you thought there were no rules at Crash Palace. That was just the underground. This is, well, it's above ground.
Slip right. Back. Stop. You're welcome.
Arrogance can be annoying, but dang, when you're that good. There was definitely a sentient subplot for Adam. I mean, he even kind of nods here.
Can you understand me?
Maybe they'll touch on it in the sequel. Incredible. The drooling green fluid, the derpy don't look on Metro's face. A solid cartoon moment. There it is. Ha, even his screen is betraying him. No notes. Even in Lost, Kingpin is absolutely living his best life.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're related. The shadow feature, often just working in the background during inane tasks, is possibly its best quality. This is a Turing test in a scene. If you don't physically cringe, you might not be as organic as you think. That said, anyone who says they wouldn't make a 7.5-foot robot with a shadow function to the robot is lying through their teeth. The shadow rules are a little loosey-goosey at times, but I enjoy that because part of what he mimicked made him face away from Max, he couldn't shadow him anymore.
Left jab, right hook up.
Japan!
Agreed, kid.
It's just a show, Max. People want to see something they've never seen.
Spoken like a showman. A greatest one at that.
You think all the greats. Think Ali, Sugar Ray, Prince Rakeem.
Honestly, at this point in boxing, RZA becoming a great wouldn't be remotely surprising.
I mean, what are you, like 9, 10?
I'm 11.
Okay. Are you sure you're 11?
Yes, I'm sure I'm 11.
Solid callback to Charlie being terrible.
You too old, man?
It's stuff that should be cringy just never is when it's Hugh. How does he do that? Also, of all the professions I 100% believe Hugh Jackman could do, this is top of the list. You see his reach? And Adam shadowing Charlie does look pretty awesome, and the score makes me feel like I can do anything. And I'm like 2-ish years younger than Hugh was in this. Yep, I'm gonna go do something awesome and very likely hurt myself. Again, basic continuity stuff here, but Adam does everything Charlie says, and the truth is that no one would actually notice if it was overlooked. Okay, in this universe, if you lose a match, you lose your cowboy hat automatically. This might be a direct reference to Street Fighter or Final Fight with the car stage, but every arena gives huge fighter game vibes. And sound design is peak on the, is it a biker bot? Trucker bot? It's kind of got a Nazi Hellgast thing going on. Anyway, loving it. Not the Nazi vibe. We get a little too much of that IRL these days. And it would not be a 90s movie without a montage, and a leveling up montage is the fastest way to get a little father-son bonding. It's interesting that Charlie decides to pay back Bailey, but not Ricky. Personally, I'd pay back the guy who might kill me first, but I'm old-fashioned like that.
I want you to be relaxed, okay, Max? No freaking out. Don't get all freaky-deaky on me. Trust me when I say no freaking out. You got it?
This feels ad-libbed in the most realistic, I'm freaking out kind of way. Again, this mirror shot is too long for us to not consider Adam's sentience. But I really love that it's left up to us because it would somewhat undercut Charlie and Max's building relationship.
$200,000.
He's not
Done.
for sale.
What? No, of course he is. No, we can
He's
definitely...
not for sale.
Charlie really is the worst. I mean, obviously I'd take the money if it was my robot, but if it was Jude's, I'd take the money and tell him somebody stole his robot.
He's not for sale. Not now, not ever.
But I get it, I think. I'll get more into it later, but to Max, Adam is both an actual sentient friend and a representation of his relationship with his father.
Okay, Max. Hey, Doc, how are you? Max.
The casual greeting to Doc.
Charlie, we can go round and round this all night long. Look at me, look at me. But it's not gonna happen.
This look at me moment really settles who the adult is.
In his first professional fight, hailing from parts unknown.
Get it? Because he's made of parts. Also unknown because they stole him. I don't hate this. I feel like I should, but I don't. Nay, I can't. Okay, that Shadow 5 is money. I love the contrast of the step up to the professional level now. There are full teams controlling the bots.
Right shoulder, he's got a tell. He's got a hitch in his shoulder every time he throws that right bomb. So we got it.
Good old-fashioned human awareness gives them the edge.
Here comes the Charlie special.
Yeah? What's he do? Forget how old his son is and then lose all his money? The way they humanize these robots is truly astounding, as if you can feel their pain. Realest high fives in all of film. We can't even see Max. And then he jumps from out of nowhere to grab the mic.
I challenge Zeus!
Classic Adonis behavior.
You name it! We will beat it!
The energy level is perfect, clipping the mic and everything. If I had been a kid when this movie came out, it'd probably be my favorite movie of all time. Max does whatever he wants and just continually dunks on adults. And Charlie told him to put on a show.
We know it's about much more than just money now, don't we?
I think it's because you called him Blob. I like that Charlie clearly would have beaten any one of these guys in a fair fight. In fact, since he's been training with Adam, he could probably even take two. But this whole scene is a reminder that Charlie's priorities are way off. The idea that he never paid back Ricky but then took a nationally televised fight is kind of bananas.
Yeah,
Look at his face.
I called her. Look at us. We're a mess.
Please. Please.
As brutal as it is to let your kid down, Charlie's actually making a selfless decision. He almost got killed in front of Max, and he's lucky Ricky isn't like a bad guy, otherwise something could have happened to Max.
I don't want your money, Marvin.
No, this is stupid. The bleachers are dopes. Take the money. Or having honor or whatever.
Well, he won't even talk to me, so thanks for that, Charlie. I'm gonna wait in the car.
Wow, Deb, you're definitely not cut out for this. Glad Julia only has a brother, cause oh boy.
No, you forgot who I was.
Oof, but so did you for a hot second there. But like, in a good way, because you became a decent human.
I mean, what do you want from me?
I want you to fight for me. That's all I ever wanted.
And Charlie really is having an honest moment about being a pile of crap, which is growth, because when Bailey called him on it earlier, he got all touchy. I'm just gonna say it, spooning is top tier.
1,200 miles for a kiss.
Worth it.
Smooth. And you don't have to go back, Kate. You don't have to go back.
You have no business being here.
Can it, Deb?
You sold me.
Right, yeah, that happened.
Well, wait, what?
Moving along.
We got the Zeus fight.
What?
No, we didn't. You got the Zeus fight.
It's good that he clarifies, both to give Max the credit he deserves and to be able to say, told you so, later if Adam gets dismembered.
Giving a shot at the belt to a nobody from nowhere, this junkyard dog, if you will.
Phil Lamar might have the best announcer voice in Hollywood, or maybe I just watch a lot of Futurama. He's not freaking out, but Max also isn't dancing in with Adam this time.
You heard me, homie.
Homie?
On boy!
All right. Peace out, posse.
He did the thing where what he said wasn't racist, but how he said it? Yeah. Arkady Kozlov you, I would. Not really, I just wanted a chance to tell you to watch Pantheon. It's amazing. Actually, Arkady probably is pretty racist. Now, that's an entrance. I remember it vividly from the trailer.
That was awesome.
See, Charlie gets it, and truly, love when game recognizes game. Did he just dab? It can't be a champ pose, because he ain't got no biceps to flex.
Are you ready for Real Steel?
I've been ready. What were we doing this whole time?
The bots emerge from their corners.
Amazing. It's actually 100% believable that this is how it would go. However, this is one of my only qualms with robot boxing. The bots aren't given enough time to ready themselves. Every time Adam gets up, it seems like Zeus lands a blow before Adam's legs are even straight. I think I might write a strongly worded letter to the officials. And there's no holding back, showing us just how outmatched Adam really is.
Right uppercut!
And this makes it clear just how good Zeus is that Adam landing just one solid punch feels like a game changer. Ha! Fair guess, it's what we all assumed. Ah, classic, spamming the move you know works. But hey, no shade, Eddie Gordo had that Armada to Macaco move. My brother used to ruin Tekken for me with it.
Let's go, homie.
I mean, just the teensiest bit of comeuppance. Is the Ring Girl a Metropolis reference? I'll take it. The way the metal moves and bends with each hit, slivers flying everywhere, it's all so tactile, we can feel the metal crunch and impact. Love how we get Adam's silent point of view as his voice recog is broken. Even Tok sees it happening.
But I can't do it.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
Again, subverting the traditional roles. Normally, we'd expect the kid to be saying, I can't, and the supportive adult giving them positive reinforcement, but these two have always had reversed roles.
Watch me.
You know you're talking to a robot.
I know.
Haha, got him with the callback.
You know you're talking to a machine, right?
Charlie Kent is shadow boxing just outside the ring.
Charlie Kenton is fighting the last round of this fight against Zeus.
Honestly, did not see this coming the first time, and I should have, but it's such an awesome way to close out this fight.
I don't believe it! Adam is taunting!
Pure 90s cheese, and if you let it, it'll take you there. Bailey pieces the plan together as Charlie executes it, taking the underdog energy to the next level.
That little bitch bust him open!
I'm glad that Deb and Marv are there having fun. The conflict was really with Charlie being a sack of crap, so it makes sense that they'd want to support Max. Best shot of the entire movie right there. This is what I want from this movie. If they do end up making the rumored sequel, I hope there's more shadowboxing. Max and Bailey both love Charlie, and they're seeing him genuinely happy doing the thing he loved most in life, even if he wasn't the best. This is pretty powerful.
Zeus is saved by the bell.
I can't blame him, it's the monitor's fault.
For the winner and still World Robot Boxing Champion, Zeus!
They're not even mad, and I appreciate that there was really no expectation of Adam winning. Zeus mollywopped Adam in the first round, and it takes a lot to hand a champ's title over by decision.
They're already calling your bot the People's Champion.
Which is weird, because he's not people, but it sounds pretty good to me. Oh, yeah, what he said. Calling him dad? What are you trying to do to me here? Hugging. Real Steel came out in 2011, but unless you're very familiar with 2010s movies, there isn't much to identify it as such, and like I've said 100 times now, it's an 80s or 90s movie through and through. But it also doesn't feel dated for 2025. Oh, I don't care for that. 5 years after it's supposed to take place. Setting it in 2020 was really smart because it's not so far into the future that it's painfully obvious what era it came out of. I mean, we don't have giant robots yet, but you can easily envision living in this world where we do. All the other tech featured is pretty similar to our current reality and probably will be for another decade, at least on the surface. The best evidence that it's a 90s kids movie is that no one ever uses a robot against a human. Ricky uses his own fists to punch Charlie like an insane person. IRL, the human fatality rate would probably be higher than car crashes just from accidental deaths. Yeah, it was the craziest thing. He was shadowboxing with the mimic function, slipped on some wet grass, and the thing punched his head clean off. Who could ever have predicted that? Everyone, all of us. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think this movie could have ended right here with Charlie crushed under ambush. Or possibly on this entrance? Max didn't die from the blow to the back of the head, but he sure wishes he were dead. I mean, look how close these spectators are to the bout. If there's one thing that is universally true about technology, it's that it malfunctions. But you can't make a 90s movie if you worry about that kind of stuff too much. I know, I'm already reading a bunch of stuff into this movie that it doesn't need and isn't important because what this movie is fun. And that it succeeds at. On the fun tier, it's actually pretty underrated, but it's also got more than fun. The father-son relationship strife stumbles here and there, but it lands in the end. Ultimately, Adam's unanswered sentience becomes an expression of Max's lack of a dad, which, maybe that wasn't Levy's initial plan, but it kind of works perfectly. We watch Max go from having no one and attempting to connect with the hunk of metal to making an actual connection with his bio-dad. Heartwarming stuff. There's been talk of a sequel or a series for years, and I'd be right there for it. Next week, a total shift from robots to, well, trains.
Japanese bootlegs are always better.